Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which I am very excited to be recording because this is a topic that I love, or two of the things that I really love. One, eyeshadow palettes, because eyeshadow palettes are my favorite topic whenever it comes to makeup. And number two, autumn or fall or however you call it in your part of the world. I love fall makeup. I love fall in general. I am a fall baby. I was born during the fall. And I also love eyeshadow, so combining the two of them, it's just like, here. You know? That was a little bit cheesy, but you get the point. I love autumn and I love eyeshadows. And what's even better than autumn themed eyeshadow? In my opinion, there's a lot better things than that. But whenever it comes to makeup, that's what I like the most. So that's exactly what we are going to be talking today. But before we begin, hello, my name is Carla and I am a makeup enthusiast, loves to create looks and have fun with the makeup that I already have. I occasionally review new products for you guys, but the main focus of my channel is to make you fall in love again with your makeup, with your current collection, getting creative, getting inspired. I do videos like Shop My Stash, Project Pan, and this kind of videos where I show you different eyeshadow palettes that you can use for the seasons or for any other occasion or just in general, you know, whatever comes to my head. So if that is something that you are interested in, I hope that you consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. And now let's go ahead and get started. So we were talking about fall, autumn, and eyeshadow palettes. And what I want to say is whenever I think about fall eyeshadow palettes, I think about two things. Warm tones and grungy tones. Those are my two things whenever it comes to fall. And those are the two kind of looks that I really love. I love warm eyeshadows or just neutral eyeshadows, but finally, thanks. The AC turned off. I love a good bronzy look, and I also love a good colorful but grungy look. Those two are like my favorite. I'm lying. Bronzy, I do like a bronzy look. I really do. But colorful looks and grungy looks are like my thing. So let's go ahead and get started. I honestly have not counted how many eyeshadows I have here. These are also not just like my favorite ones. These are just the ones that I happen to have in my collection that I think fit pretty well the season. I did not want to just stick to my favorite ones because what if I have another one that you haven't thought about and I am not showing it to you just because maybe it's not my favorite one, you know, and then you forget about it and it's in your collection and it just keeps collecting dust and dust and dust and all of that. So these are, like I said, not my favorite. Some of these are my favorite. Some of these are just palettes that I happen to have, and some of these are palettes that but all of them I truly like them. I do. Some of them I haven't used them, so I don't know if I like them or not. Let's be honest. But these are palettes that, like I said, I'm being so repetitive. I'm sorry. Fit the theme of the two things that I think about whenever I think about fall. And I have a good mix of indie, high-end, and drugstore ones. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one that I have over here that I think this one came out 2 years ago. It is still available in ColourPop's website, and I am talking about It's a Mood. Honestly, autumn, it's all it is, a mood. Of course not, it is a season, but it's also a mood. And this palette is just perfect for the season. You get a lot of variety of colors in here, but they all are like more on the grungy side. You get this purples, the blues, the olive greens, some neutrals, the pumpkin, in my opinion, tones, and a little bit of a berry shade over here. So I do think this palette is perfect for fall. If you have it, make sure that you pull it out. If not, that's okay. You don't need to run and get it. But if you want to get it, go for it. Get it. I believe it's still in ColourPop's website. This is not like one of the things. This is not one of the palettes that they got rid of. I believe that all of their mega palettes are part of their permanent collection. So the first one over here that we have, like I said, It's a Mood from ColourPop. So if you would like for me to do a 5 looks from palette or something, or maybe post, and it does not necessarily have to be a video. It can be just Instagram posts, let me know and I'll make sure that I make that happen for you guys. Next palette that I have over here, this one is a newer palette. I believe I've used this one only once, maybe. Oopsie. And I did not put it, did I put it in the pile? I believe I did put it in the pile of shame. I'm talking about the Natasha Nona Yucca palette. This one, guys, was a perfect palette for summer, but this also is a very pretty transition for fall. You sure do get like one or two pops of color more bright over here, but the rest of it, it's just like, this is fall. These are like your dry greens, and then you get some khakis over here, those yellows, those browns. All of this, to me, it screams nothing but fall. It's a very, very good palette as we are transitioning right now from summer um to autumn. Make sure that if you have it, you keep using it. If you are like me and you have only used it once, maybe put it in a place where you reach for it a little bit more. Like I said, this is a very beautiful palette, perfect for fall. I feel like I'm gonna be saying that a lot because I don't know how to end um whenever I speak or I'm done speaking about a palette. I'm sorry. Next, this is another palette I have not used, but you already watched that video, okay? So there's gonna be a few palettes from there, from that video in here. But I'm talking about the Halloween palette by Batty Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. This one, it's for me what also autumn is about. It's spookiness, okay? And this is nothing but that. You do get some fall colors over here. These are like pumpkin-ish colors, but then you also get the other ones that are more like spooky and grungy. This palette, it has a potential to create some very beautiful looks, and I cannot wait to put my hands on it. I am not going to swatch it because you know me, guys. If you've been here for a while or if you have watched any of my last videos, if I have not used this palette, I am not swatching it, okay? Sorry. But my goal for this one is definitely to use it, especially next month during October. I have a series planned. So if you want to watch that, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Next palette that I have over here, this one is a ColourPop one, and this one is from their the Mandalorian collection, The Child. This palette, guys, it's so beautiful. Like, I know it seems very like, you know, it's just greens, whatever, some neutrals, but I promise you this palette looks absolutely beautiful on the eyes, especially if you like green tones. This, I love it every single time that I put this on my eyes. I have never not liked a look that I've done with this one. So if you have it, make sure that you keep giving it some love. I know for sure I'm gonna be doing that because I have a lot of green clothes, and this palette just fits perfectly with all of those things. So I'm definitely gonna make sure that I put it in a place where I can see it so I can use it. Although this is one of those palettes that I don't need to see it. I immediately remember about this whenever I wear certain clothes. So next palette that I have here is another one of my pile that I have not used, although I gotta say I have used this one already. It's a, well, not a whole lot, but I have. It's a Subculture by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This palette, guys, let me just get this out before it falls because it always happens. This color story screams nothing but autumn. Like, I look at it and to me, this is fall. I really, really, really like this palette. It's very heavy on the mattes, I'm not gonna lie, but you get 3 shimmers, and honestly, like, you can just mix any other shimmer from any other palette that you have, but this mattes, I feel like they're absolutely beautiful. I love this edge shade over here, this New Wave Untamed. Like, these 6 shades over here, to me, it's the definition of fall for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like the crunchiness of it, you know? But it's very, very pretty. And of course, you get over here the brown, which reminds me of dry leaves. But it's a very beautiful palette, a very old one. And I think it was also a controversial palette because I think quality-wise it wasn't as good as the Modern Renaissance was. But I still think this palette is beautiful, guys. And of course, I got dirty already. But like I said, I think that this palette is beautiful, and if you have it, make sure that you keep giving it some love. I don't know if you can still find this one. I don't think so. I got mine at TJ Maxx. So, you know, maybe if you have been thinking about it, maybe look at it on Mercari, Poshmark, or go and try to see if you can find it at your local TJ Maxx or Marshall store. Next one. I swear, I feel like all the palettes that I haven't used, all of them are like fall theme or fall color story. But another one that I haven't used, guys, this is the Natasha Nona Retro Palette, and this is nothing but an absolutely beautiful, berry toned palette. Another thing of fall, very tones, not very, berry tones. So this palette, just for me to look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't even want to touch it. I just like looking at it. But I definitely will use it at some point. So hopefully this fall. I'm not even gonna say that I will because I have so many palettes. Like it's impossible for me to use them all. But this palette, again, if you like very tones, if you like Natasha Nona, and if you have this palette, don't forget about it. Give it some love. I think that this palette came out maybe also 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Yes, it was 2 years ago because last year it was another one. So this palette, very beautiful palette. If you like very tones, like I said, and if you have it, pull it out of your drawers. Natasha Nona palettes are not cheap. So if you have them, use them. I am a believer of don't wait for a special occasion to use your expensive makeup. Use it whenever you want, guys, because you paid for it. Don't let it go bad on your collection. Just use it. Next, this is a brand that I have not tried yet, but is the Scooby-Doo palette from Glam Light Cosmetics. This is their Crips and Crawls. Ooh, this is the color story that I like. So, another grungy palette that to me screams nothing but fall, spookiness, and Halloween and all of that stuff. It's this one. Just look at those beautiful purples, blues, and very tones. It's just, this palette is just, in my opinion, so delicious. Like, I just want to put it all over my eyes. I just want it on my eyeballs. In fact, could I create something similar? Maybe I could create a similar look with this. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I would like this better. I don't know. But this is so beautiful, guys. I love how this looks. I know I'm not a big fan of blues, but I really am hoping that this one right here, I like how it looks on my eyes because this palette looks absolutely beautiful and I cannot wait to try it soon. I just look at it and to me this is like, yes, fall. The spookiness, the grunginess. And to me, grunginess is like, I don't know, it makes me feel kind of sexy. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But yes. So, if you have this one, if you purchased it last year, make sure that you give it some good use, especially right now that October is coming up, and I think it just fits the theme very well. Now let's move on to some minis that I have over here. These both look very similar, but let's start with the first one. This one is a quad from e.l.f., and I believe that this is the pumpkin pie. This little quad over here, guys, it's only $4, and I do think it's very, very pretty. It definitely gives you those pumpkin spice vibes, and these shimmers like are really good. And same thing about their mattes. They are just like, again, for $4, look at that shimmer. And that palette is like 2 or 3 years old and it's still standing the test of time. So I think that speaks to the quality of this little quads from e.l.f. I'll say this, I do not like all of them, but this, I kept this one for a reason, and it is because I definitely thought it was a good one. Well, those mats build up, by the way. I do remember that. They don't have a lot of pigment at first, but you can build them up, and that way you can get the intensity that you want. Which I also think it's very cool because that makes it very beginner friendly. If you are not like very experienced with eyeshadows, I definitely recommend that you start and try it with this ones because again, the pigment is beginner friendly and it's cheap, guys. Don't go and buy something expensive if you don't know how to use it yet. That's my opinion. Just start with the cheap stuff whenever you're learning and then move on to the more expensive stuff. Unless you have the money and you want to spend it, spend it however you want. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm not your mom. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one is also a mini and I don't know why it's so dirty. I do not like it whenever my palettes are this dirty. But this is the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze palette. I absolutely love this one. This one is so easy to work with. It's like this two, a one and done. You put this one on the crease, you put this on the the lid, and you're good to go. Every time that I've created a look with this palette, sure, they look a little bit similar because it's all bronzy tones, guys. There's not a whole lot of range whenever it comes to bronzy tones, but it's still very pretty. And I personally have liked every single look that I've made with this. I can make something very soft, or I can make something very, I'm not gonna say smoky because this is not like really smoky, but I can make something very like intense if I want to. And just with those little 5 shades. Also, did you notice that I finally cleaned up over here and I have some fall things? I even turned the candle back on. That hasn't happened in a minute. So I'm very excited. You know, it's like I'm trying to get into the whole fall vibes. It's this week actually here in Texas, or at least here in North Texas, we got a cold front. So it's not that I got cold, but we got some rain. It's been like cloudy all week and raining all week, which has been perfect because it's the week that I've been sick. So I've been staying at home and just like watching the, well, I wish I could say just watching the rain, but no, I have been kind of working from home. But anyway, we're not talking about me. Let's keep going with the palettes because I still have a few to go and I don't want this video to be way too long. Next palette, I'll say this. This is not one of my favorite palettes and I just keep it because of one shade. Yes, one shade. I'm not going to depot a palette just for one shade, okay? Because once it's depotted, it's like, who am I going to give it to? And I don't want to throw it away. So, anyway, I'm talking about the Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette. This one has nothing but fall tones. This is like a very warm palette. You get here an olive green, and all of these are just, again, just look at them. They look like pumpkin spice. They look like bronze, warm, you know? But the BIP shade is the one shade that I keep this palette for because um it's a white shimmer, which it's not common in a lot of palettes. Like you don't usually get a white. You normally get like a variation of a beige or a very light beige, but not uh straight up white. So that's why I keep it. But I mean the palette is not bad, but I feel like the tones are so repetitive. These two can look very similar, and these two can look very similar as well. So, you know, and this coin shade, in my opinion, it's a little too yellow for a gold for my taste. But if you have it and if you like this palette, I mean, this is an old one, so make sure that, you know, you give it some love before it goes bad because it's old already, like I said. So, yeah, it's perfect for fall. Nothing wrong with this palette. It's just not my favorite palette. That's it. Next, I have a very beautiful palette over here. This is an all matte palette, and this is from ColourPop. Unfortunately, you cannot get it anymore. I am talking about Lil Ray of Sunshine. Look at those beautiful sunflowers over here, guys. This palette, it just reminds me of the leaves whenever they're falling from the trees. It's, you know, they start first like turning into a yellowish color, then a more rusty color, and then finally they're just brown whenever, well, no, that's not true. Sometimes they're yellow whenever they are on the ground, but whenever they are finally done getting dry, they become a brown color. And this is what I think of whenever I see this palette. It's just, sure, we have the sunflowers, and sunflowers are like very characteristic of summer, and also transition from summer to autumn, I think. But to me, this palette just screams nothing but autumn. So if you have this palette and you like mattes and yellows like I do, don't forget about this one. Pull it out from your drawers, and I don't know, use it, I guess. Sorry for being awkward. Let's talk about the next palette. This one, it was a release from last year. It was an what is it called? It was a release from last year, and it was a limited collection, like limited time, meaning they don't have it anymore. Although I'll say this, I've seen it at Sephora, so Sephora might still carry it. Look at your Sephora if you want it. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals palette. This is an absolutely gorgeous palette in my opinion, guys. What did I tell you? I absolutely loved the quality on this palette. I think that these colors are absolutely beautiful. You do get a variety here, and sure, some looks can look a little bit repetitive, but the quality of this palette, it's there. It's like a very soft, very buttery ABH palette, and I absolutely loved every single look that I created. I can see that I have not touched some shades like this Dune, and I am pretty sure that Rose Fire I have not touched it either. But everything else I have used it, and I liked the way that this palette looked on my eyes. This palette is absolutely beautiful, and I do think it also fits the theme of autumn. If you have it, if you purchased it last year, don't forget about this one. I know that a new one just came out and it's also very pretty, but this one, guys, this packaging is so I like it. This one is also very pretty. Don't neglect your older ones just because you have new babies. All right, I have a few more palettes, guys, so bear with me. Remember, I normally do like my favorite ones, but this time around, I just wanted to show you all of them in case that there's one that might be your favorite or that you really like and you forgot that you had because it's all the way in the back of your drawer or wherever you put your makeup. So that's why, we're taking a little bit longer, but let's go ahead and keep going. This one over here, it's another one from Glimlight that I have not used, and it's also from the Scooby-Doo collection. This one, it's the Rara Raggy. If I can open it, of course. And this is how this palette looks like. Absolutely beautiful palette. I love the tones in here. It's very grungy in my opinion, and at the same time very vibrant. I feel like the let me bring down the tone. Okay, that's probably better. Okay, this is how this palette looks like, guys, and it's absolutely beautiful in my opinion, of course, if you ask me, but I like these tones. Well, this looks a little bit more bluish than purple, but I like purples and I like greens. So this palette, it's like, yes, I want to put it on my eyelids. And look at those shimmers, how reflective they are. I cannot wait to play with this palette and see how it looks like on my eyes. I feel like it's going to be just amazing. But if you purchased this one from last year, I think October is, you can wear any palette, like I said, whenever you want. There's not a specific time for wearing palettes, but I think that, if you are like me and you kind of like to have certain palettes for certain months, not that I stop myself from wearing them another month if I feel like it, but I feel more inspired to use them during certain months. This one, it's like an October winner. Next, this palette came out also last year, and this one is from Natasha Nona, and it is my dream palette. This is not my dream palette, this is her dream palette. I have a hair somewhere over here, give me a second. But there's no doubt that this color story is absolutely beautiful, and I like how you have a lot of variety here. You get some neutral shades, you get a little bit of berry shades, you get a multi-chrome over here. I don't know if you can see how it turns or shifts from green to purple. But this one right here is absolutely beautiful. Then you also get a black, a black or a very dark brown. I feel like it's perfect to make any eye look just change and stand out and everything. So yes, this palette, like I said, I don't know, to me it's perfect not only for fall, but just for your everyday. This is like a good year-round palette, right? You can make it as light as you want, or you can make it as smoky as you want and as grungy as you want, depending, of course, on your mood. And for me, not only the mood, but the months of the year. The colder it is, the grungier will go. So, this palette, guys, if you have it, don't forget about this one. I know that right now everybody is obsessed with the I Need a New Nude palette. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's a very beautiful palette. I purchased it, have not used it, but I purchased it. Another palette that I need to use. But make sure that you keep giving love to your older palettes. Don't let them go old or bad. All right, next one. This one, it's another one that whenever I look at it, I think of Halloween and I think of autumn and all of that. This is from Badivan and Shroud Cosmetics. It's freaking bats. This palette is absolutely beautiful, guys. What did I tell you? I'll pick it up in a minute. This palette, it's absolutely beautiful. It definitely reminds me of the Glam Light Rara Raggy. We've said that already in a different video. But I mean, if you have this one and not the other one, or if you have the other one and not this one, like whichever you have, you know, you can use it. You don't need to have both. They are honestly very repetitive, and I purchased it with that intent to see how repetitive they were and to see which one was better. But whichever one you have, it's good enough. And you know, I think that right now that fall it's about to begin and spooky month is coming, I just want to put that dairy shade and trappa on my eyes. I sounded like a boy throwing a tantrum or something. Um, but yes, guys, I don't know. I just look at this palette and it's like I just want to play with it. In fact, I can't. I guess I want to say that I like this layout better than I like the other one. Not like it matters, but this is a good palette, guys. I love this. Like I said, let's do some swatches. Why not? This same shade. Oh, so creamy. See, that's what I love about this one. This Troppa shade, also very pretty, in this grim shade. Ooh, these are like my three favorite shades from here. Just look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Wait. They are so pretty, and I know that that blue does not have a whole lot of like vibrance or reflect as the green one does, but those three colors are still absolutely beautiful. That Troppa shade in the center, I just like to put it all over my eyes. It almost makes me look like I'm sick or getting sick. I don't know, but I just like it. I really love that shade. It's beautiful. Next, I have a palette that I absolutely adore, but I am looking at the packaging and I don't know what's happened or what happened to it. I need to be more careful with it because it's making me want to buy another one, but I don't think it's available anymore. She brings it from time to time back to her website, but I don't know if it's currently available or not. So, but I'm talking about the Natasha Nona Metropolis palette. Can you see what happened over here? And then also right here. It's like I don't know what's that. Where did he get that from? Like I need to be more careful with this palette for sure. I'm gonna put it in a place where it does not get scratched or anything because I don't like that. It's making me want to buy a new one. I swear, just because that's how much I like this palette. This is the Natasha Nona Metropolis palette. This is like a fall heaven, guys. What like if you have this one, I feel like you have everything. You don't need anything else. That like this is it. You don't need anything else. You have your pumpkin tones, you have neutral tones, you have your olive tones, you have some jewel tones over here, some berry tone, well, very little berry tones, but you still do, you know, just your golden yellowish. What else do you need? This is fall. This whole thing, it's fall. It's autumn. I kid you not. If you have this, it's like do you really need anything else? No, you don't. Do you want to have more? You probably do. But if you are a very minimalistic person and you have this palette, you really don't need anything else. You're set. But yes, guys, this, like I said, I don't know if she still has it or not on her website. I know that I bought this one whenever she brought it back, one of those times that she did. If she has it still, everything that I've mentioned is going to be linked in the description box down below. And when it's not available anymore, then well, it won't be, right? But yes, guys, absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to use this one. I might use it tomorrow. I don't know. I just really feel inspired whenever I look at this one. It's just like, oh. This one is very heavy on the cream to powder formulas, which I don't mind. I actually like them. I know a lot of people don't, and this is an expensive one. I really, really wish that she brought another one of these back. Like, I will pay easily $130 if you're going to give me 28 shades like this. 100%. Because I much prefer to have a big palette with smaller pans than a big palette with only 15 shades that are going to take forever for me to finish or anything, you know? So, yes. Natasha, please bring one of these back. Like just create another one like this. I will. Yes. Please. This one is one of my most bougie eyeshadow palettes, guys. Okay, this is a Pat McGrath, and I am talking about the bronze eyeshadow palette. This one right here. This one is also a bronze fall heaven. What else do you need for fall? You know, you get some bronzy tones. You get this red over here, very fitting for fall. This kind of like burgundy purple, wine purple, I don't know how to call it, but also very pretty for fall. Some very basic neutral golds over here. This shade right here is so pretty. It has like a shift to kind of like greenish, and same thing this one up here, like both of these, like this, both of these guys are so beautiful. So this is another good one that you can pull out if you have in your collection. And if you are, sometimes like me and it's like, oh no, that's my expensive palette only at special occasions. Come on, guys, life is too short to just use things on special occasions. So make sure that you bust this one out. I know that I need to take my advice and do the same thing because I have not done that. So I think I've only used it like twice. So I definitely need to bring this out. I don't know why I didn't put it on my pile. I should probably add it on my pile of shame. But this one, guys, again, if you have any Pat McGraths and you're looking to, okay, what would be good for fall? This will be good for fall. Sorry for covering my face. Also, let me know if you would like for me to do any looks with this one, and if not, I think I still need to do some looks with it. So, they don't have to be a video. It can be an Instagram post also. Like if you guys are not interested in watching a video, I'll just do it on Instagram for myself. Okay, we're almost there. I think I have only 3 palettes left. Yay! And these 3 are definitely, the 3 of them are new to my collection. That's why they were at the bottom, because, they were already there. The first one that I am talking about, it's the new Nomad Cosmetics Ghost Town USA palette. This one you already, if you have not, I have a 5 looks 1 palette with this particular eyeshadow palette, and this one is also perfect for fall. It has but this one, it's a cool tone palette. Cool tone and a little bit of like neutral on this side, but it's mostly for those cool tone people that like to use nothing but cool tones and are happy with their cool tones. This palette is for you guys. And also some colors, of course. Colors and cool tone. That's not so much my vibe. I still like this palette though, and I love Nomad Cosmetics formula. I think that these shimmers are something else. They're so putty, so beautiful. I definitely like so much one of the looks that I created, and oh my goodness, I cannot remember who told me, but thank you to the person who told me that this MT, it's Montana. I am sorry, I cannot remember who it was. Oh gosh, I feel so bad. But thank you again for letting me know that the MT meant Montana. I feel less ignorant about that. But yes, this palette, guys, it's absolutely beautiful. I do like it. Cool tones are not my thing. Yet I did like this palette, and I liked some of the looks that I created with it. I definitely need to keep playing with it a little bit more and discovering new looks that I can come up with that fit my style. But if you have it, you're probably using it because this is one of the newer ones, and people tend to use the new stuff a little bit more than they do their older things, just because it's exciting. It's absolutely understandable. I am the same way. So, but I am working on bringing inspiration not just to me, but to you guys, introducing older things, and that I feel like I've been doing good with that too. So, all right, let's talk about our next palette. This is the one that I have on my eyes today, and it is also a new palette. Ooh, this is probably my newest palette. I am talking about the Fall Romance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This palette is very pretty. I really like the color story. I think it's a little bit repetitive on some areas, but I'm gonna leave that for the video that I created with this one. I did 3 looks with this palette. This video will come up after this one that you're watching. I don't know which day I need to edit it, but the point is, that's the fall. That's the next video, okay? If you wanted to know. But yes, This palette, guys, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the tones. I love how down here it's a lot of fall, like all those berry tones, those dry green tones. It is a very pretty palette. But I don't want to say too much about it. I want you to hear my opinion on it on that video. And I'm pretty sure that you have already watched a lot of reviews. So if you have this palette, if you purchase it, let me know if you liked it or what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And yes, like I said, this look I created it with this palette. And yes, I think that it definitely fits the theme. It's definitely a fall or autumn palette, and it does have also like that romance kind of theme into it. So very beautiful. Definitely need to play a little bit more with it. I've liked some of the looks that Anastasia has come up with on her Instagram that I definitely want to try to recreate. So I'll give you more thoughts on this palette later on. And last, guys, but not least, this palette. This is one that I put on my Shop My Stash. So if you watch my Shop My Stash, you already know which palette I'm talking about. This is the Nomad Hudson Valley palette. Guys, this palette, it's so beautiful. Like I look at it, and this is nothing but fall. Everything about this is fall. This is their last year collection. So if you purchase this one, you didn't, and you're not, or you're short on budget or whatever, like you don't need to go and buy the new one, which is like the hunted or not the hunted, the ghost town palette. You can just keep playing with this one. Like, come on, this is nothing but fall. We're talking about fall, okay? The other one is more spooky. This is about fall. If you're talking about autumn, you're wanting autumn palettes, this is the one. This is nothing but autumn. That's what it screams. You get like even every single embossing in it, it's just you get like cider house over here, and of course it has like an apple cider. Then you get some jack-o'-lanterns over here. You get the Oktoberfest, and you get like your beer mugs. You get some music over here for fall festival. Some apples as apple picking. Some grapes for like wine harvesting. A corn maze, foliage trail, leaf peeping. Like just everything about this palette, guys. This is autumn. It's beautiful, and I feel like this is the perfect way actually of finishing this video is by showing you all the inspiration. Like, look, those leaves, it's this. Okay, what happened to my candle? Oh, it is still on. But yes, I cannot wait to use this palette. Like, I want to use it, and at the same time I don't because of how beautiful it is. But I want to put it on my eyes. I definitely want to play with this. So I am excited to have this one on my Shop My Stash because I will be, like I said, creating 5 looks, 1 palette. That way I can, bring back inspiration to you to use this palette. Maybe some new ideas on how to use it. I have not watched a video. Well, I probably did watch videos last year about this palette, and that's how I fell in love with it. But I don't remember any of those videos. I just kept remembering the palette. So we'll see what I come up with. Hopefully that helps you get some ideas also in case you have this palette, so you can get it out of your collection, fall in love with it again, just like I am right now, of course, because it's new to me. But I've been in love with this palette since it came out last year, guys. I just had not purchased it until now. Alright guys, that is it for today. I know that this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but hopefully you found this video interesting and also helpful, and it helped you remember which palettes you have that you can pull out of your collection for fall or autumn, however you call it. By the way, let me know, how do you call it? Do you call it fall or do you call it autumn? And let me know in which part of the world you are at. That way I can see, because I'm pretty sure that only the US calls it fall. I don't even know why. Is it because the leaves fall? I don't know. If you don't know me, my first language is not English, okay? My first language is it's Spanish. I am from Mexico, but I do live in the US. I came here for work. I guess I can give you a little bit of extra details over here. And I am, yeah, just that's pretty much all that happened. I came here for work, and as I was here working, life happened. That's it. Anyway, guys, that was a little bit extra in this video that you probably did not need to know or did not want to know. But if you wanted to know, well, you know now a little bit more about me. Anyway, guys, like I said, let me know in the comments down below, how do you call this season? Do you call it fall or do you call it autumn? I call it both. I like autumn better. But just because of how much I hear it here, I typically call it fall. But I like autumn better. It's more, I don't know. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I do, talking about eyeshadow palettes in fall, autumn. You see what I'm saying? I just keep saying fall more. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this video so it doesn't last an hour. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching all the way down here, I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful and found some inspiration and remembered some of the eyeshadow palettes that you have in your collection. Also, not only let me know how autumn or fall, how you say it, but also let me know which one of these eyeshadow palettes do you own, which one would you like for me to do something for, you know, more looks or something to get more inspiration. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below all of that. If you would like to see any 5 looks 1 palette, 3 looks 1 palette, or Instagram posts, whatever you want to see, let me know and I'll work on it. That way we both get inspiration and use out of our things. So yes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate you coming here and stopping by. If you like this video, you already know what I'm going to say. Please make sure that you give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification button so you don't miss any single one of my videos. And like I said already, my next video will be this one where I am going to be doing 3 looks 1 palette with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance palette. This packaging is beautiful. But I'll give you more thoughts on this palette on that video. Until then, I will see you on my next one. Bye!